They expected screams. They expected tears. They expected easy hostages. What they did not expect was applause. If you enjoy HFY stories where humanity wins not by brute force, but by sheer, terrifying creativity, subscribe, like, and stay with us, because this field trip is only just beginning. You are halfway through your third cup of terrible cafeteria-grade coffee when the universe decides to intervene. The bus jolts, not the normal pothole jolt, but something heavier, something wrong. The windows vibrate, not from the road, but from a pressure wave that rattles bone and glass alike. The driver, Mr. Alvarez, slams the brakes. Children yelp. Backpacks tumble. Someone's science project explodes into glitter and vinegar. Then the sky disappears, not clouds, not darkness, metal. A massive shadow rolls over the road, blotting out the sun as if someone dragged a battleship across the heavens. Gravity shifts. The bus lifts, actually lifts tires dangling. Children screaming now. Real screams, the kind that scrape your nerves raw. You grab the nearest seat and shout for everyone to stay seated, even as the bus is pulled upward by a beam of shimmering blue light. The air hums. Your teeth buzz. One kid starts crying. Another starts filming. Of course they do. The bus slams down again, but not on asphalt. On steel. The doors wrench open with the hiss of recycled air and ozone. Beyond them stands a creature that looks like someone crossed a crustacean with a nightmare and gave it a gun. 8 feet tall. Chitin armor. 4 eyes glowing amber. Behind it, more figures fan out, weapons raised, clicking and chittering in a language that sounds like broken glass in a blender. A translator crackles to life. Remain still, soft forms. You are now property of the Black Moth Freeboot Coalition. Resistance will be punished. Silence. Then a small voice from the back of the bus asks, are we still going to the museum? You feel something cold settle in your chest. Not fear, responsibility. You step forward before your brain can stop you. I'm the teacher, you say, hands raised. These are children. The pirate tilts its head. You are escort unit? I'm their teacher. The translator pauses, as if processing something deeply confusing. You lead juveniles? Voluntarily? Yes. Into unsecured environments? Yes. Another pause. Longer this time. Why? You almost laugh. Almost. Because it's a field trip. The pirates don't understand the term. Not really. They register it as a civilian transport, lightly guarded, full of small, weak biological units. Perfect for ransom. Perfect for sale. Perfect for reputation. They herd you all into a holding bay, magnetic clamps locking the bus in place like a trophy kill. Energy fields snap into place. The children are shaken, but alive. A few are still filming. One kid asks if aliens are on the test. You do what teachers always do when things go wrong. You adapt. You take attendance. Because here's the thing the pirates don't know. Human children are not untrained civilians. They are chaos given structure. They are exposure therapy for stress. They are socialized insanity. They are weapons-grade curiosity. And today's lesson plan just changed. The pirate captain arrives an hour later, taller than the rest, scars etched into its armor. A cloak made of something that used to be alive. It studies the bus through the containment field. Explain, it demands. You do. You explain school, schedules, subjects, field trips. You explain that today was supposed to be history and science, with gift shops at the end. The captain's eyes narrow. These juveniles are not soldiers. No, you agree. They're worse. It laughs, a wet, scraping sound. We will contact your governments. They will pay. You look at the kids. Half of them are already bored. That's when you realize something beautiful. Humanity didn't conquer the stars because we were stronger. We did it because we were adaptable. Because we turned every disaster into a classroom. And pirates just turned your class into a live demonstration. You whisper to the kids, calmly, professionally. Okay, everyone. New assignment. Eyes turn to you. This is an unscheduled learning opportunity. Hands go up. Yes, Jamie? Is this graded? Yes, groans. You continue. Observe your surroundings. Identify weaknesses. Cultural behaviors. Technology use. Think critically. A pirate overhears. You are instructing them? Yes. Why? Because they're here, you say. And so are you. The pirates don't stop you. That's their second mistake. By hour 3, the kids know the garb rotation. By hour 4, they know which pirate hates loud noises. By hour 5, someone has figured out the translator delay. By hour 6, the pirates are tired. Humans are not. One child asks for bathroom access. Another fakes a panic attack. Another drops a snack bar and watches how the floor reacts to organic matter. One kid compliments a pirate's armor incorrectly on purpose, just to see how it reacts. You correct homework. You encourage note-taking. You redirect nervous energy into observation. This is not your first crisis. Meanwhile, the pirates argue among themselves. The juveniles ask questions. Endless questions. What happens if I press this? Why does that one smell like rust? Are you born with all your arms, or do they grow later? The translator struggles. The pirates grow irritable. That's when the captain realizes something is wrong. You, it says, pointing at you. Your juveniles are destabilizing morale. You smile politely. They're learning. An alarm blares. Not loud. Not panicked. Just enough to be annoying. Someone no one admits who has discovered how to trigger non-critical system alerts. The captain snarls. Silence them. You shake your head. You really don't want to do that. Why? Because then they'll get creative. The pirate hesitates. Too late. A chant starts. Soft, off-key. It spreads. A children's song. Translated poorly. Looping endlessly through the ship's comm system. The pirates don't understand the words, but they feel the madness. You stand there, hands clasped behind your back, watching the most feared pirate crew in 3 sectors slowly unravel because they kidnapped the wrong species at the wrong developmental stage. And you realize this field trip is going to be legendary. Hey everyone, still here, still awake? If you are, that's fine, because the pirates aren't. Not really. They're exhausted, jumpy, and deeply confused, and that makes them dangerous. But it also makes them sloppy. And humans, you know this well, thrive on other people's mistakes. The Black Mall Freeboot Coalition expected fear. What they got was sustained psychological abrasion. You stand near the bus, arms folded, posture relaxed in that way. Only teachers master the calm stance that says, I have survived parent-teacher conferences and budget meetings. You cannot break me. Around you, the children sit in clusters, whispering, sketching, recording notes on tablets that were supposed to be used for museum worksheets. Now they're being used for something far more advanced. Field research. The pirate guards rotate again. You notice the same pattern? One alert, one bored, one visibly irritated. The irritated one keeps clicking its mandibles whenever the children hum. You've encouraged that particular habit. Across the bay, the pirate Captain Crash of the Black Maw paces in tight, angry circles. The translator clipped to its chest crackles intermittently, struggling to keep up with the constant noise, the questions, the off-key singing that somehow keeps restarting even after being shut down. Crash finally snaps. Escort unit, it growls, pointing a claw at you. You will command your juveniles to cease disruptive behavior. You tilt your head. I already am. This is compliance? You gesture gently to the children. They're following instructions perfectly. Crash's eyes narrow. Explain. You take a breath. Teaching moment. They're observing, interacting, testing hypotheses. You smile faintly. This is experiential learning. The captain bares its teeth. You weaponize education. You don't deny it. That's when one of the pirates stumbles. Literally. A guard near the port side access hatch slips on the deck and crashes hard, weapon skidding across the floor. The children gasp not in fear, but in synchronized fascination. Someone whispers, "Coefficient of friction is lower there." Another kid adds, "It's where the coolant line sweats." You close your eyes for half a second. They're ahead of schedule. Crash roars an order, and two pirates rush forward, dragging the fallen guard away. But the damage is done. The children have learned something important. The ship isn't perfect. You quietly call for attention. Not loudly, just enough. The children look to you instantly. Okay, you say, new focus. Systems thinking. A hand goes up. Like cause and effect? Exactly. You don't need to say more. They're already connecting dots. The humming resumes, but now it's rhythmic, patterned. Someone figures out that certain frequencies make the translator lag by half a second. Another child discovers that repeating simple questions forces the pirate AI assistant to reroute processing power. None of this is violent. All of it is devastating. Crash retreats to the command platform, snarling orders. Prepare ransom transmission. Priority channel. A hologram flares to life above the deck. Star charts. Broadcast arrays. Encryption keys. The children lean forward. You feel a strange, fierce pride bloom in your chest. Because while the pirates see hostages, you see a classroom that just graduated to advanced placement. The transmission begins. Crash stands tall, cloak flaring dramatically. Attention, human authorities. We have seized. The feed flickers. Audio distorts. The children's humming, now carefully tuned, bleeds into the signal. The pirate's voice stretches, warps, loops back on itself. Seized, seized, seized. Crash slams a claw into the console. Silence them. Two pirates advance on the children. You step forward instantly. Careful, you say. Voice calm but firm. You're escalating. Explain, Crash snarls. You're outnumbered, you say simply. Not physically. Cognitively? The captain laughs, sharp and humorless. They are juveniles. Yes, you agree. Which means they learn faster than you adapt. The pirates hesitate. They don't understand this kind of threat. No weapons raised. No demands shouted. Just erosion. Another alarm chirps. Not loud, just persistent. A child raises a hand. I think we triggered a diagnostic loop. Crash spins. How? The child shrugs. We asked the maintenance AI why the alarm exists. Repeatedly. You add, curiosity is relentless. The ship shudders slightly as non-essential systems cycle. Lights dim. Gravity fluctuates just enough to be uncomfortable. The pirates start arguing, loudly, in front of the children. That's your opening. Class, you say, Projecting your voice just enough? What are we observing? Hands shoot up. Poor leadership. Lack of redundancy. Emotional decision-making under stress. Outdated user interfaces. You nod. Excellent observations. Crash's mandibles tremble. You are undermining authority. You meet its gaze. No, you're demonstrating why it fails. The ransom transmission finally stabilizes, but not before something unexpected happens. Human command answers. A calm voice fills the bay. Professional. Measured. This is the United Human Systems Liaison. Please state your demands. Crash straightens, triumphant. We demand. The feed splits. Someone later, no one will admit who, has mirrored the display to the children's tablets. They see everything. The encryption headers. The handshake protocol. A kid whispers, "That's not military grade." Another murmurs, "My mom's company uses better encryption." You cough lightly. Eyes on the lesson. Crash delivers its demands. Credits, supplies, safe passage. The human liaison listens patiently. Then asks, "May we speak to the educator?" Crash freezes. "Explain." You step forward. "This is Ms. Carter," the liaison says. "We're aware of the situation. Are the children safe?" "For now," you reply. Crash snarls. You will comply. The liaison pauses. "Captain Crash, do you know what a human field trip is?" "No. It's a supervised exposure to unfamiliar environments, designed to encourage learning through interaction." You can almost hear the smile in the liaison's voice. "In other words," they continue, "you brought children onto your ship and gave them time." Crash roars. "We have weapons." "Yes," the liaison agrees. "They have ideas." The feed cuts. The pirates panic. Orders fly. Guards scramble. Systems glitch as the children's carefully planted questions continue to ripple through the ship SAI. One kid tugs your sleeve. "Is it okay if we try something?" You look down. "Define something." "Well," the child says, "we noticed the environmental controls are centralized." You sigh softly. Proceed, carefully. Moments later, the temperature shifts. Not dangerously, but enough to make chitin itch. Humidity spikes. The pirates hiss and click uncomfortably. Crash slams its claw into the deck. "Stop this." You shake your head. They're not misbehaving. They're experimenting. The captain stares at the children. Really looks at them for the first time. Not as cargo. Not as leverage. As a problem. "You planned this," it accuses you. You smile. Tired but sincere. "No. I planned a museum visit." Another alarm chirps. Then another. Then the lights flicker again. Somewhere deep in the ship, a system reboots that was never meant to reboot mid-flight. The pirates begin to realize the truth. They didn't hijack a school bus. They hijacked a mobile training environment for the most adaptable species in known space. And the lesson is far from over. You clap your hands once. Sharp. Clear. "All right, everyone," you say. "Next phase." The children grin. Crash backs away slowly. For the first time since this began, the pirates are afraid. "Hey, everyone. Still here? Still awake?" If you are, that's fine, because the Black Maw Freeboot Coalition no longer is. They're standing in the wreckage of their own confidence, surrounded not by soldiers, not by weapons, but by children who have learned exactly how fragile power can be when it ISNT understood. The ship lists gently, not from damage, but from indecision. Systems are still online. Weapons are still charged. But nothing is coordinated anymore. The pirates shout orders that contradict each other. Consoles blink between modes. Environmental controls drift in and out of tolerance. Never dangerous, just irritating enough to keep everyone off balance. You didn't teach the children to break the ship. You taught them to touch it everywhere at once. Crash stands at the center of the command deck, breathing hard, mandibles flaring. Its crew avoids eye contact. A few guards have quietly set their weapons down, not in surrender, but in fatigue. They're warriors trained for raids and bloodshed, not this. Not 1,000 tiny pressures, applied intelligently and without fear. Stop, Crash growls, voice cracking through the translator. Just stop. You look at the children. They look back at you. You raise a hand, and just like that, the humming fades. Tablets lower. Questions pause mid-formation. The ship feels suddenly, unnervingly quiet. Crash notices. You can control them, it says. You nod. Of course. Then why? Because learning doesn't stop when someone tells it to, you reply. It stops when curiosity is punished. You didn't do that. You let them explore. Crash stares at you as if seeing your species clearly for the first time. You turned captivity into instruction. You shrug lightly. Field trips are about exposure. An alarm sounds again, but this one is different. Sharper. External. A navigation officer snaps its head up. Multiple contacts. Human configuration. The main display flares to life. Human ships slide out of fold space like they own the stars. Not warships bristling with guns, though those are there. Farther back, with sleek response vessels, rescue cruisers. Diplomatic frames broadcasting open channels and medical readiness. They don't rush. They don't threaten. They arrive. The human liaison's voice returns, calm as ever. Black Maw vessel. This is United Human Systems. We are initiating a supervised recovery. Crash snarls. You will not board us. We won't, the liaison replies. Unless invited. The pirates look around. The children look at you. You sigh softly. Class, you say. What happens when a system can't resolve conflicting inputs? A hand rises. It defaults, or crashes. Correct, you say. What's happening here? Another child answers. They can't decide whether to fight or negotiate. You nod. Excellent. Crash roars in frustration. We will release them. Take your juveniles and leave. The liaison pauses. We appreciate the offer. But there's a process. Crash's eyes flare. Process? Yes, the liaison says. First, we ensure the safety of the children. Second, we document the incident. Third, a child pipes up. Consequences? You close your eyes briefly. The liaison continues smoothly. Educational consequences. Crash looks between you, the children, and the human ships. You mean punishment? No, you correct gently. Punishment is emotional. This is instructional. The pirates don't understand at first. Then they do. Boarding shuttles arrive, not storming, not breaching, but docking cleanly. Human responders step aboard without weapons raised, smiling calmly, kneeling to speak at eye level with the children. Hey there, one says. Heard you had an unconventional trip. A kid nods enthusiastically. We learned a lot. I bet, the responder says. Did you take notes? Obviously. Medical checks begin. Snacks appear, blankets, reassurance. The pirates watch, stunned. No revenge. No violence. No victory roar. Just competence. Crash slumps. You will destroy us. The liaison's voice softens. No, Captain. We're going to study you. The captain recoils. Study? Yes, you say, stepping forward. Case study. Cultural exchange. Ethics review. Crash stares at you in horror. That's worse. You don't disagree. The pirates are disarmed, not forcibly, but procedurally. Their ship is tagged, systems logged, decisions archived. Every error they made is recorded with timestamps and annotations. The children help. One kid whispers to you, "Is this like a group project?" You nod, and everyone gets credit. As the children are escorted toward the shuttles, they wave at the pirates. Some smile. One even thanks them for the experience. Crash watches them go, shoulders sagging. Why? It asks you quietly. Why are your young like this? You think for a moment. Because we don't raise them to obey blindly, you say. We raise them to ask questions. The last child steps onto the shuttle. You turn back to Crash one final time. Next time you consider taking human children hostage. Crash doesn't meet your eyes. There will be no next time. You pause. Good. The shuttle doors close. From orbit, the human fleet looks almost gentle as it escorts the pirate vessel away, not to execution, not to erasure, but to something far more terrifying for a criminal culture. Oversight. Back on Earth, the story explodes. Headlines scream. Comment sections melt. Analysts replay footage of humming children and glitching pirate systems. Academics write papers. Militaries take notes. And one phrase spreads faster than all the rest. Never kidnap human children. Not because they'll fight you, but because they'll learn you. Weeks later, you stand in your classroom again. The bus is repaired. The children chatter like nothing ever happened. A new permission slip sits on your desk. Next field trip. Space Science Museum. You hesitate. Then you smile. All right, everyone, you say. Open your notebooks. Hands shoot up. Is it dangerous? Will there be aliens? Is this graded? You laugh. Maybe, you say. But remember, you look out at the next generation of humanity. Every place you go is a classroom. And somewhere in deep space, a pirate captain shudders, having finally learned what a human field trip really means.